Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Video number 2 about the Maytech waterproof remote controller for your electric skateboard. In this video we're going to install it, adjust it, set it up and test. So the first step will be to take the vest enclosure apart and install the receiver. This receiver got an option where you can actually hardwire it to your battery, and the screen, LCD screen here, will be telling you the status of your battery. So the reading should be quite truthful. We'll find out very shortly. So let's start. So we need to quickly solder a cable right here into this empty connection and wire it straight into positive of the battery. So the connection we need to go onto, it does say a little mark 42 volt. This is the one next to the brown wire. So it's going just to stick a new wire through the hole. As you can see, I'm holding the chip between two rubber strips, so not to apply any pressure on the components. The cable is now soldered in. I'm just going to cut it shorter so it doesn't protrude as much. Don't want to have any exposed cables, so a small heat shrink tubing. Guys, I'm not sure if this is the right way, so don't do it if you're not comfortable with it. But I'm not comfortable with having these connections here exposed and putting all that into my vest. It's probably coated with something that protects it, don't know. But I'm just going to use a small piece of larger shrink tube, and I'm going to protect just the bottom here, just past the small little LED right there on the board. So I am now ready to connect this cable that was soldered onto the receiver back onto the positive. So this is how you get the reading. I strongly recommend you think carefully how your wiring is done, because you want to choose the positive that actually turns off when the board is off. So I'm not sure exactly how your board is wired. So if you have the loop key, you want to be on the other side of the loop key, so when it's pulled, the cable that goes to the receiver, this one here, goes dead. You don't want anything being live constantly, so think about your wiring. So guys, we're ready to connect the vest to the receiver. The brown on the Maytech receiver is the ground, and this is the black on this Flip Sky. So it should go like this. It does have shape. Sometimes when it connects, it's got shape to it and you can only insert it one way, but these ones do not. So this is all plugged in. Last step is, guys, for the installation is to think how you will have all your parts inside your enclosure. This receiver is actually really thin, and I like that a lot, because compared to the one I had before, yeah, it's much easier to fit into my enclosure. Now we need to get this cable out of the box. So think about it yourself. What's the best for you? Do you want it upright, sticking out of the enclosure? Do you want it on the side? I don't know, it's up to you. No, I don't think I like it on the side, to be honest. There's nothing wrong with it. Even if it touches the wheel, it's okay. Don't know, what do you reckon? Or should we just go up here? Yeah, I think that's a bit better. Straight to the top. That's okay, a little tiny hole, put a bit of silicone on that. Perfect. So before you close up your vest enclosure, I would strongly recommend you do power up your board. And let's make sure that the little light on the receiver is going to blink. This way it's all good to go. Okay, so receiver is definitely powered up. You can see it's blinking, it's searching for the remote. We're going to turn the remote on, and the light stopped blinking. That means we got the connection. The board will not run at the moment because we need to set up the remote. She's at the eServe mode, but as you can notice, if you've seen my original unpackaging video of this remote, this bar here did not exist. This is now reading the battery of the board. As you can see, it's on full, and that's correct. Up there is the remote battery. That's the percentage of your throttle or you're applying, and also the communication. At the moment, communication at the top notch because you got the antenna. Very nice. So let's now talk about setting this remote up. So guys, let's preset the remote first. As you can see, the board is turned off. I did not turn on the VESC, so no power to the VESC, so the board doesn't jump anywhere if you press something by mistake. So let's turn the remote on. You do this by pressing this rubberized button on the side until the screen turns on. There we go. The screen is now on. Now, in order to go into the menu, you press down the brake all the way down and you hit the same rubberized button just once. Now you are in the menu. I'm not quite sure if you see it clearly or not, but if you're trying to repeat the same while you're watching this video, you'll understand what I'm talking about. You will start seeing the lines, and the one that's in yellow, it is the option you are in at the moment. In order to get into that option, you hold down on the rubberized button just a little bit longer, and look, we're now in. So throttle type, you have a choice of electric skateboard or the surfboard. This is if you are using that for your electrical surfboard. In order to change the setting, you simply press down the rubberized button until the little arrow drops down to the choice you want. In order to make that your choice, you press down on the rubberized button a bit longer, and a little star appears right next to your choice. You are done. If you're not happy with it, press one more time, arrow travels to the next position, press down on the rubberized button one more time, and a little star appears next to it. You are done. In order to get out from here, back into the menu list, as long as you're happy you've set it all up as you want, you will press the brake button just once, really quickly, and that will take you one step back. It's like a back button on your phone. So the throttle mode we're done correctly. We're now set to electrical skateboard. Let's travel to next one. We quickly press the rubberized button. We're now in a battery type. Let's hold down the rubberized button and we go in further. So you now have a choice of the cells. So 3.2 volts or 3.7. So if you are running the 18650, so you are running the LiPo batteries like I do, you do the same process as a step before. Press the rubberized button until the arrow meets your choice. Press down on it firmly if you want to change it, and the little star appears. We'll press the brake, out. Next one is the battery type, meaning the size. So hold down the rubberized button, go into the menu, and now you got the battery number. This is how many batteries you've got connected in series. So pretty much that's your S value. So I'm running 12S, I got the 12. You can go all the way up to 18S, which is quite impressive. So we're going back. Now if you have to pair the remote, it's quite easy done. You choose the pair, you press on it, it starts to pair. Let me just do it for you. So it starts to pair, and at this moment you will turn your board on, and what you will see, that a little red light started to blink on the screen, and the screen remote went back step in the menu. That means they have paired up already. If it did not pair up, you would have had the pairing lines still on the screen. It takes about half a second to pair up. So that's why it's really hard to catch it here on the video. But don't worry, you'll know if you're not paired. That means your board is not going to run. The last thing, and that's quite impressive actually, so next and last choice is calibration. When you're in the calibration mode, hold down the rubberized buttons. That's how you go into the mode. And now you can see two lines, throttle and brake. As simple as just pressing the throttle all the way down, and if everything is fine, you will get the OK next to it. There we go, calibrated, OK. Now we're preheating the brake, calibrating, OK. So now on both screens, on both settings, the throttle and the brake, OK, OK. So we're done. In order to get out of here and to make this, to save this setting, is you hold down the rubberized button and you get out of calibration. That's it, you are done. So now we're going out of the menu by hitting the brake, and we are now back into the main screen. So on the main screen you now have the battery of your remote, like you would have on your phone, percentage of throttle if you're applying any. When you start hitting the brakes, you will see that go negative, like so, minus 99%. Perfect. You also get your battery life. This here is your battery, and it tells you it is set to 12S. So at the moment it's full, and that's correct because I've charged my batteries up. And here in the corner you get a nice little antenna sign, tells you the strength of the connection to the board. Well, I'm quite close to the antenna now, so it's perfect. At the same time, the light on the receiver is now solid red because it is paired up nicely. And just to test it out, make sure you lift your board up, guys, so it doesn't jump on you, and get the cables all tucked away. Perfect. All up and running, no issues whatsoever. I have spoken to Maytech, and you don't actually have to do anything on the VESC tool. Normally when you change remotes you have to, but with this one, because your brake and the throttle are separate buttons, you don't have to actually calibrate it. With using the VESC tool, getting the the neutral position and all of that, you're pretty much done. That's quite neat actually. So we're going to close up the enclosure. Make sure you know where your cables go, tuck everything in nicely so nothing gets ripped up or broken or squished, and we're going out for a test. Guys, just before we go testing this remote, wanted to show you the charging system that is used for this new Maytech remote. It's a really thin plate. You plug it into USB, and then the remote goes down with this sign facing down, and as you can see, the little ring around the charger turns blue and the remote turns on. And on the remote itself, it'll tell you that it's charging. The battery at the moment is at 4.07 volts, and the input is at 4.77 volt charge. That is a quite nice feature. Because the remote is waterproof, it needs to be like that. But it's very cool. Got a nice little blue light going on around there. It's just a lovely touch. So, let's go on the road. So guys, let's test out this board. The remote is now set up. Let's see how it does operate. Let's turn it on. Power is on. Reading the battery. Hopefully you can see this. Now let's apply the throttle very slowly. That is actually very smooth. No issue with that. Okay, very nice and smooth action, so you don't get that jerk. It kicks in at about 28 because it slowly rotates the motors before that. Now, most importantly, let's try the brakes. Yeah, brakes are spot on. So this is your acceleration, and that's your braking. Full connection with the board, and the battery reader is right there. That is not bad. Yes, so let's test the board for a little bit, just to see if remote will do any tricks on me. It's quite smooth actually, because the movement or the whole travel of the trigger is actually quite long. So you have a nice smooth acceleration, and the spring on this trigger is very strong as well. So it doesn't jonk around. Jerk meaning like back and forth. Braking, well, it also does depend how you set your board up. So you cannot just rely on your remote 100%. Your board needs to be set up, or your VESC needs to be set up to what you can handle amps wise on the braking and acceleration. But so far so good. Just got to remember, where is your throttle and where is your brake. By the way, just to mention to you, if you are throttling and you will hit the brake, your brake will take precedence, which is quite good, I guess. So, and off we go. Started to move. The battery indication, that is very sweet. Very sweet, I like that. Just enough information that you require on the remote. You don't need nothing else. I'm not really sure why this percentage of the throttle is required, but well, I guess you know how hard you're pushing it. Braking. Acceleration. So guys, so far so good. Liking the remote, no issue. You have to get used to the trigger. You have to remember that your thumb is actually the brake, but the massive travel on the triggers makes it really easy, and the screen has just enough information that you need. It's perfect for now. Let's try it a bit more. Very smooth braking as well on this trigger. I really like the size of the triggers. They're so wide, you got no chance not to hit it. So it's good. So far so good. And also the battery indicator definitely works, because when you push the board it drops 1 bar, so it's a live reading of your battery. Good. So what can I say, guys, about this new Maytech remote? And yes, it is pissing down with rain, and the weather is very strange. Oh yeah, we've got the rainbow and all behind you. Hopefully you can see it. Well, the rain is not a problem for this remote because it is waterproof. You can actually use it in the water. So far so good. 3 miles or 4 miles testing, perfect, very smooth. Yes, that's it really. So hopefully this video answers all the questions you, my subscribers, had about this product. So guys, hopefully you're happy with this video. I'm soaking wet. My board is soaking wet. The only thing I ask for is like and subscribe, and also hit that bell button. This way you can see all my other videos soon. Bye.